I would like to ask you about your average subscriber. What do you think they should be excited about your content most?
Photography education focused videos. I'm looking to help people grow. So not only can they come and look at my back catalog and find all of these different videos to cover pretty much just about any topic they might be looking for. If people want to have a video made about a particular topic, all they have to do is ask, and I try to make those videos. So to me, it's the excitement of that new bit of information that they can incorporate into their skill set to create the images they want to create.
Great. Oh, that sounds good. And of course, they need to look forward and be tuned to your channel every week you release. Let's remind our audience, the people that are watching this video, that you release videos twice every week, and you have much more going on with podcasts. I saw that you have some business kind of discussion with some people, like the business of photography.
Yes.
And some other things that I check. For the most part, I follow on your Instagram. Also, you can say your Instagram to people that would like to follow you there as well. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. If people want to follow me on Instagram, they can head over there and just search for my last name, which is Heniadis.
All right, great. Very, very useful content also from your Instagram. I follow you there as well. And I see the photo shoots that you do. Very interesting ideas. So now we were going to the more personal questions that I wanted to ask you. And I will start with the obvious one. How did you decide to become a professional photographer?
For me, the spark came when I was working in a bookstore. And
bookstore, okay. Yeah, I didn't expect that. That was your first job?
Not my first job, but it was a job that I had for, I don't even remember how many years.
Okay.
And I worked in the art section of the bookstore. So that was the section I was supposed to take care of. And so I had access to all of these art and photography books. And I found myself gravitating to the photography books. And even more so, I found myself gravitating to portraits. That sparked my interest in photography. So I got my first camera a little while after that. I didn't get it right away, but it was just a regular old point and shoot camera. It wasn't a DSLR. DSLRs weren't even accessible yet. And I started shooting with that and just learning everything that I could.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. And after this experience that you had in the bookstore, you started working immediately as a professional, like earning money by doing some portraits, or what was the first topic of your photography? How did it develop in the future? Right?
It started as just me shooting as a hobbyist, learning. I didn't immediately start making money. Mm-hmm. No, not even close. And I don't even have a studio business or a photography business in the sense that people are paying me for my photography skills. And that was by design. I made this YouTube educational my business. Mm-hmm. And that allowed me to shoot the kind of work that I want to shoot, which is the creative stuff that you see on my Instagram. So I started thinking about it as a business probably 5 or 6 years into shooting. But back then, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about business, and I knew a little bit about photography. As I got better, I started trying to build a regular studio business. And that's when I found that a regular studio business isn't right for me because I'm not attracted to that kind of work. And that's not a disparagement against taking weddings or anything like that. It's just not the work for me. And that's why I decided to build the YouTube business to free me up to shoot whatever I want to shoot.
You mentioned about the things that you post on Instagram and the creativity that you try to do with this kind of, let's say, with this kind of photo shoots. And I would like to ask how this creativity comes into you while you shoot some kind of idea and then share it with your audience for educational reasons?
That's an interesting question. I've tried to share it in a lot of different ways. Um, the creativity just comes from the world around me. So if I'm, people will come to me with ideas of things they want to shoot, and then we talk about those ideas and bounce them back and forth. Or I just see a thing that inspires me and I want to shoot based upon that thing. But regardless of those ideas, what I try to do is pull out if I'm going to make an educational video around it, I try to pull out the core aspects of it and share the most important elements. But another thing I try to do is literally show the entirety of the process. I live stream some of the photo shoots that I do, so people can see them, like literally from the beginning all the way through to the end, and everything that goes into it, all of the work that's done. And again, it's just trying to give people the things that they want to see, the information that they need, in whatever way they want to get it, whether it's in a 5-minute video that goes over a topic or a full live video that shows them start to finish.
Very interesting, very interesting. And another, let's say, question that comes to my mind is about, of course, personal again. The hobbies that you do outside of photography. You told us that it started as a hobby and then it became a profession for you. But outside of the photography world, what are your main interests?
I love to read, and I like my biggest interest right now, actually. My wife and I have been watching Top Chef, which is a really fun show to watch. A competition cooking show. So I enjoy that, but I love to read, and I love sci-fi and fantasy. That's something I've been drawn to my entire life. And I think that reflects itself in my photography as well. So like I enjoy all of the Marvel movies. Those are super fun. I enjoy great science fiction and fantasy movies. And I'm behind on my reading because I'm working a lot, but I love reading those sorts of books as well.
And yes, that's very interesting. And what about traveling? Do you enjoy traveling?
I do. I don't do as much traveling as I would like, but I do enjoy traveling. I'm trying to build my business to a point where my wife and I can travel a lot more than we currently are.
Mm-hmm. And I know that your origins are from Greece, right?
Yes, my family's origins are from Greece.
That's great. I'm also Greek. So my question is, have you ever been there? Have you ever been to Greece?
I have not. And in fact, one of the things that I would like to do is actually move there and live there for, who knows, 3 years, 5 years, maybe the rest of my life. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's a thing that I'd like to do.
Be close to the sea, like to an island?
I have no idea. Like, I literally have no idea. I just know generally that's a thing that I want to do.
Except from Greece, would you consider some other country to visit in Europe that we could also perform some kind of seminars or, some kind of workshops that people can come and see how you work, how you build the shot and how you take the photos, how you set up the lights, everything that related with the photography.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I would literally go to any country that would have me.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think the world is a wonderful place, and if I could go anywhere to teach anybody anything, I would go there. Like, it doesn't matter where.
Currently, do you do this kind of, let's say, workshops or seminars in your town or in your city?
I don't in my town. I live in a smaller town, and there's not a huge market for me here. But I have been going to some of the photography conventions and teaching at those conventions. So like WPPI in Las Vegas and Photo Plus Expo in New York. Okay. Conventions like that.
Quite big cities.
Yes. And I'll also actually be at ClickCon in Chicago this coming August.
ClickCon, okay. And that will be about photography in general. What would be this?
I've got 2 classes that I'm teaching.
Classes,
Actually,
okay.
4 classes. Yeah, 2 on getting started with your camera, and then 2 on flash photography.
Okay, sounds very interesting. So, whoever watched this video and he's located somewhere close to where you are going, they should definitely visit this and check your workshop, the teaching that you are going to do there. It will be very nice for them, especially the ones that are subscribers and that are watching your content that can see you live. Many people
Yeah, I know
actually
there's
are
going to be a
asking
couple
this
people.
on the comment section, and they are praising, of course, your work and everything that you do. That's something that comes all the time from the videos, and of course, we are all waiting for. We would like to have you also in our cities or towns to listen to your knowledge about photography and how we can do all these beautiful things that you display on your channel and become better photographers. Great.
Thank
So
you.
I have a last question. Time
Mhm.
passes very quickly. So your advice about new photographers and the ones that are now having a business and how they can maintain this business, because we all know that this is a very tough job to do in 2019. It's like too many photographers, I would say, and too many ways to achieve the same result, even with low budget, equipment, and
Mhm.
even go, outside and shooting with natural light. That there are many people doing that. They don't even have a studio to, do this kind more professional, so to say. No, I don't want to
Mhm.
say that, of course, that there are not many great artists, photographers that they do great job outside, but there are some others that, let's say, are struggling to achieve some results. So, what will be your advice about the new photographers that want to come into the market, and for the existing ones, how they can maintain their business?
That's it's really a two-prong approach. Step one is to focus on your skills as a photographer, and not to focus on the gear, because the gear is the gear. It just is the tool to get the job done. It's like a carpenter's hammer. The carpenter needs the hammer to hammer the nails. Nobody cares what the hammer is, and nobody really cares what your camera is, as long as you can produce the quality of images that you purport to produce in your business. So focusing on your skills as a photographer, that's going to allow you to deliver a superior product. And then if you are approaching this as a business, then you have to approach this as a business. And that's actually what I'm talking about with my friend Zara on the podcast that we've been working on. She has built several 6-figure photography studio businesses and has a lot to offer on that. So if people are interested in that, if you don't mind a quick plug, the podcast is called Business Windup, and you can find the podcast on any podcast platform, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever. And we'll be talking about that specifically. My advice to people who are doing this, though, is to immediately start learning about business and marketing, because unless you're already a business expert, you're going to struggle building a business, because you have to think about it as a business. Being a good photographer isn't enough to turn it into a business, because a business means there are jobs to be done, there are expenses to take care of, there are clients to satisfy. All of that stuff comes into play. So learn about marketing and learn about how to understand what your clients want and how you can provide that for them. Because in the end, you are trying to provide a solution to a problem that they have. The problem might be that they need senior portraits, as an example. What makes you the best photographer to provide that skill? You have to somehow communicate that, and that's
Like
through your
the right
marketing.
niche, right? They should have the
Yeah,
right niche.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, if it's the right niche, then you can target those clients and communicate with them and be part of their lives, essentially. Because if you interact with them, let's say it's on social media, right? You want people to come to you as a photographer. So you start sharing your photography. That's one thing you can do. But if you also understand you need to interact with the people that you want to be your clients. That helps you learn about them, and it helps them learn about you. It's like what I do with my YouTube videos, right? I put my videos out there, and that attracts people because they want to learn about photography. But I also answer the comments. I talk to people that message me. I answer emails. I'm doing this interview with you because I want to know the people who are learning from me so that I can give them what they want.
Yeah, and there are many comments on the YouTube videos that they are asking on demand some, like a video, a specific topic, and you are always asking in the end of your video if if they have any ideas for the next one. So that's very helpful to do that because obviously there are many ideas and there are many people that have specific concerns about photography and they want to learn more. So by asking the feedback, that's something very important, and you should definitely, because you are a professional tutor, you need to take this kind of feedback and try to create a new content or reapproach probably a new video. As you said, you did a video last week about the aperture, if I'm not mistaken. So this topic also, you did it in the past, if I'm not mistaken, and you reapproach it with a different way that your audience will understand it even better according to the feedback that they gave you, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I will thank you very much for being here and for spending time with us. And also, they can follow you on Instagram and see some photos that you put there. Very interesting work from Spyros. And again, thanks for being on my channel. And for everyone that is watching, just subscribe to Spyros Heniadis channel.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.